Hang on, April.
Coming up in this edition of Retro Newsround, a device that will turn your phone into a Game Boy, a Sinclair ZX Spectrum Lego kit, and the classic fighting fantasy books are making a digital comeback. Many of you will probably remember reading and playing through the Puffin Books fighting fantasy series of choose-your-own-adventure style game books that were first written in 1982 by Ian Livingstone and Steve Jackson. These role-playing game books involved making decisions and throwing dice to direct your path through different branches of a story, ultimately leading you to many different possible endings. Now, 45 years later, these books are making a digital comeback in a release for the Nintendo Switch. Fighting Fantasy Classics Volume 1 includes recreations of 4 of the original books: The Warlock of Firetop Mountain, The Citadel of Chaos, The Forest of Doom, and Starship Traveller, presumably with more to follow in future volumes. As reported on gamingretro.co.uk, these digital recreations can be played straight or in what they're calling free read mode, which means you'll be able to use bookmarks and pretend you're not cheating, just like we did in the 80s. They also include additional modern quality of life features like automatic stats and inventory tracking, maps, dramatic soundtracks, and historical reading material and artwork galleries. Fighting Fantasy Classics Volume 1 was released on the 5th of February 2026, priced at £13.49, and it's almost worth buying a Switch just to be able to play them. Failing that, there's always eBay, I suppose. 1990s kids will be pleased to hear that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will soon be coming to a LEGO store near you, and for a reasonable price too. There have been other Ninja Turtles LEGO kits released in the past, but now on the second-hand market you're looking at big bucks to get your hands on those. So this set of 4 figures in the Brickheads range should be a welcome addition to the collection for any LEGO fans who also harbour a passion for these classic cartoon and comic book characters. Leonardo, Michelangelo and Donatello make up the team with one other fellow, Raphael, and each figure is differentiated from the others with a slightly different shade of green, the appropriate headband colours, the initials on their belt buckles, and of course their respective weapons: katana swords, nunchucks, twin sais, and a bowstaff. There's also a bonus slice of Lego pizza included too, so these boys won't be going hungry. You'll be able to pick up this kit from the 1st of April 2026, no joke, for the modest sum of £34.99. Although if you were hoping for some kind of April Fool's joke, then before we move on there's another new LEGO product I wanted to mention briefly, but which didn't warrant its own segment. Verging on the ridiculous this one, but if money is no object and you want to look a bit of a pillock, these Lego brick Clog Crocs should be right up your street. And at only £150 for the pair, I assume, why not shell out and step out in this stylish and frankly dumb-looking footwear? Nintendo's Game Boy handheld console was released back in 1989 and took the gaming on the go world by storm with its cheap price point and super long battery life. These days a lot of us turn to our touchscreen phones for mobile gaming, but if you found yourself missing those physical buttons that something like a Game Boy used to offer, there's now a cheap and simple solution on the horizon that will transform your phone into a small, convenient gaming powerhouse. The 8BitDo FlipPad controller plugs directly into the USB-C socket of a mobile phone and flips over the bottom part of the screen, effectively turning it into a Game Boy-like games machine with all the controls and buttons you'd need to play either emulated retro games, including Game Boy, or even modern mobile games that run in a vertical aspect ratio. This device was announced by 8BitDo in a post on their social media, but no price or date has been set yet beyond the promise of a summer 2026 release. However, if this type of thing has you interested, there is another option in the form of the GameSir Pocket Taco controller. This is a very similar device, but with a wireless Bluetooth connection instead of USB-C, and a different button configuration which also includes shoulder buttons on the rear. It also has the advantage of a solid release date of March 15th, 2026, and a confirmed price point of £34.99. Whichever device you prefer, it looks like these clip-on controllers could well transform our on-the-go gaming experiences with their convenient size and physical buttons. So you can either wait for more information on the FlipPad from 8bitdo.com or pre-order a Pocket Taco right now from GameSir.com. In other LEGO news, a new kit based on the ZX Spectrum could be on the way if it gets enough votes. The LEGO website has a section called LEGO Ideas, where anyone can submit ideas for new LEGO kits, and you can vote for your favourites. Many of these have gone on to be made, and this ZX Spectrum kit could be one of those if it gets enough votes in the next 500 days or so. This ZX Spectrum tribute kit includes a 36cm replica of the Spectrum itself. It has proper keys that move when you press them. It comes with a retro TV set that has interchangeable game screens from Jetpack, Jet Set Willy and Nightlaw, and there's a model of Sir Clive Sinclair included, riding on his Sinclair C5. I'm showing off this LEGO idea here in this video not only because it's super interesting from a retro point of view, but I'm also hoping that some of you watching will consider giving it a vote. And while you're there on the website, I can recommend having a browse around the other ideas on offer too, as there's some really clever stuff floating around on there that's well worth taking a look at. Video game consoles have been part of our lives since the 1970s, from the Atari 2600 right through to the current PlayStation 5, and this new release from Bitmap Books, Leaps and Bounds, a visual guide to 9 console generations, attempts to take us on a journey through this history of home gaming, navigating 9 generations of games machines. This 336-page A4-sized hardback book contains photos, artwork and accompanying articles detailing the history of each console featured, and it's designed to lay open flat for comfortable double-page viewing on a hard surface, making it a perfect display book for coffee tables and such. It also comes with a free PDF digital copy for those who want to read it on the go, and it's due for release on the 23rd of February 2026, priced at £32.49. You can get all the details and register to be notified when it's available on the Bitmap Books website. Classic 1980s home computer gaming gets a nod in this next article. Good old Monty Mole, who you might remember from a series of games on the 8-bit home micros, is returning to modern machines. A collection of his classic games is now available for PC, Xbox and Nintendo Switch. The Monty Mole collection features a selection of games including Wanted Monty Mole, which was the first in the series, and the sequels Monty on the Run, Monty is Innocent and Auf Wiedersehen Monty, plus a couple of bonus spin-off games, Sam Stoat Safebreaker and Moley Christmas. Modern quality of life improvements are also included in these versions, so you'll be able to save and load game states, rewind your mistakes, and apply old-school TV screen filters for that authentic 1980s bedroom TV experience. The Monty Mole collection is available now from the Microsoft Xbox Store and the Nintendo eShop for the measly sum of £6.99. And if that Monty Mole news wasn't enough for you, I'm also pleased to be able to say that for those lucky people with a ZX Spectrum Next, there's a brand new version of Monty Mole currently in development. Dreamtime Monty makes full use of the Spectrum Next's upgraded 8-bit hardware, and you can have a closer look at the game running in a video from the What's Next 128 channel on YouTube, which I've put a direct link to in the description. Calling all 8-bit computing and retro gaming fans, it's about that time of year again to start making plans to meet up at Fusion Retro's annual retro gaming events in 2026. Crash Live and Zzap Live not only provide a place to meet other like-minded retro enthusiasts, but also provide an opportunity to get hands-on with a vast array of retro computers, games consoles, arcade machines and pinball tables. Optional talks also take place throughout the day from a variety of well-known retro legends from the past and present, and traders will also be there selling a plethora of retro-related goodies, books, magazines, toys, games and hardware to help plug a hole in your collection or just to satisfy your modern retro gaming needs. I personally attended Crash Live last year and I did a video covering that, which you'll find a link to in the description and on screen at the end of this video, so you can check that out for a taster of what to expect. And if you're torn as to which event to go to, the two are very similar, but Crash Live leans towards the ZX Spectrum side of retro and Zzap Live focuses on Commodore machines including the C64 and Amiga. There's a change of venue as well this year to Coventry as they're scaling up the size of the events, but it's literally just the next town over from last year's location in Kenilworth. Zzap Live is taking place on Saturday the 16th of May and Crash Live will be on Saturday the 17th of October, and tickets can be purchased in advance online at a price of £25 for standard entry or £12.50 for children under 13, carers and the disabled. And finally, a shout out for someone who's doing great work preserving and reproducing classic retro games for modern PCs. Richard Langford on itch.io publishes these games under the name of Langford Productions, and there's an ever-growing library of classic titles to choose from, all downloadable for free with the option of donating a small amount to support his work. I've chosen 3 of his games to highlight here, starting with Manic Miner, originally released in 1983 by Bug Byte Software. This retains the core gameplay of the original but upgrades the experience with nicer graphics, sound and music, more fluid gameplay, lighting options, and a selection of additional level designs that weren't included in the original game. The Hunch is a remake of Hunchback, a 1983 home computer game from Ocean Software. This is one I got as part of the free software pack that came with my first ever computer, so it was actually one of the first games I ever played. This version has all the features of the original game and more. It's a superbly playable upgrade, featuring Quasimodo jumping and leaping over obstacles in his quest to rescue Esmeralda. It has upgraded graphics and sound, and now it also includes 16 extra levels and new themes that weren't present in the original, with new enemies to contend with as well. And the third game we're looking at is Richard's latest release, Sheepish. I'd never come across the original version of this, but apparently it's a Spectrum game that was produced in 2024 by Gabriel and Moore. This is a platform puzzle game where you, as the fox, are attempting to abduct as many sheep as possible without being caught by the sheepdogs. Exiting on one side of the screen pops you in on the other, and when you drop through a hole in the floor, you'll emerge at the top. By using these navigational techniques, you can complete each level by dropping the sheep from the platform above your lorry and then escaping in said lorry. There are currently 27 games to choose from on Richard's itch.io page, and you can find more stuff from him on his website too, artwork, videos and comics at langfordproductions.com. Well, that about wraps up this 11th edition of Retro Newsround, so until the next one, thank you for liking and subscribing, and of course thank you all for watching Retrospectives.
Who put the lights out?